this time around, OG is like, all right, you're giving us the Enchantress. Let's see if you can beat it.
Yeah.
And the first pick by Rubik, the Liquid, which is Rubik, I think it kind of blocked their potential Magnus strat from OG because OG loves that hero. So I think that's what that Rubik.
But they banned the Max.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't know that.
I forgive you for that.
I'm kidding. What I'm thinking like maybe they try to ban for the Tidehunter maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That
because
makes
I'm feeling the Liquid draft is it's a bit awkward. It's this thing when you pick this Tide, right? Like it's a very high tier pick because I mean Ravage is always gonna just stun everyone. But in general, that hero struggles versus Ench, and he usually doesn't get a very good lane. So like Tiny will deal a lot of damage to him.
He struggles because what, the pure damage from Impetus is too much, or?
Oh yeah, you just get chunked. Like you can't lane versus him. Like that's already a problem. Like you can't put the Tide versus Ench, so that feels bad.
Yeah. So like 50% of the reason why Tide gets picked is because of the Ravage, and the other 50 for the tankiness. But Enchantress just removes the tanky part of the Tide. So,
right.
Yeah. And generally, whatever lane Tide goes into, like he starts with like 48 base damage or something. So it's just hard. It's just hard to do anything.
Yeah, and especially after the last game too, I was thinking if Liquid is going to repick these long ultimate cooldowns, because OG seems to be playing so fast. I guess like they like talked themselves over and kind of regrouped.
So you're saying that's a reason why the Enigma in the last game may not have been too great, because that black hole cooldown was a bit of a limiting factor for Liquid to be able to match that breakneck pace that OG were setting.
I don't know, normally like it would have been fine because OG had no tower hitter. They only had like heroes that could kill people, like Monkey King, Omni, Ember. They don't hit towers at all. So even if they group up, if Liquid doesn't react like 5 heroes, they're gonna lose out eventually, right?
Okay, I see.
Yeah, I think that game also just comes down to a lot like when you lose 3 lanes, it's just very hard to play.
Imagine that.
Yeah, exactly, and yeah, because they had counter like matchups. They see Omni-Knight, but they pick a Lifestealer, and like a hero doesn't.
Saw a TA, they pick an Ember, even though it didn't end up laning that way, but still, they thought that they had these counters in mind.
Yeah, and you end up losing 3 lanes. You have an Enigma Tide, and you like your first couple of ultimates don't like kill them all. You're just, it's just trouble for you, man. It's just gonna be hard. So I hope Liquid now, like they really try to counter lanes. Like the difference here with the OG Ench this game and like the first game is, like what Liquid used to counter Ench, it's all banned out. Like the Shen is gone, the Meepo is gone. So I mean, I'm hoping they have
They have a backup.
They have something.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm sure they do too, because
I mean, I'm not sure. Like this Tidehunter is very awkward. We'll see.
yeah.
So then, why is Magnus continuing to be first phase banned then? Because like they haven't even, we saw Enchantress be exposed in game 1. You saw that you could beat it. You would know that OG would be like, all right, I'm going to ban out the Meepo and the Chen because that's what beat my Enchantress. Liquid are still not willing to give up that Magnus. Why is that?
I'm not. I guess like they have more strats in mind for this Ench.
Okay.
That's what I'm guessing. Because I have like my personal feeling is that they should be able to play against the Magnus.
Right.
OG Magnus is especially annoying too because Zed plays it, not
Yeah.
the position 4. Usually when there's a Magnus, you can like fast tempo and like have such a huge advantage from the early mid game. But since offlaner plays it from OG, like it's pretty hard to do that.
So Liquid going to pick up an Ogre Magi. Technically, another possible way to deal with Enchantress. You can give your team attack speed with the Bloodlust, and you have plenty of magic damage to try to burn through her HP pool, and since you don't have to deal with the Untouchable. And OG going to pick up a Faceless Void.
And a Grimstroke that's amazing against Tide. Like these,
No, this is a very hard Tide game.
Yeah, it's gonna be a very hard Tide.
No, Ogre is one of the few heroes that can actually like solo versus Ench for a long time. Like especially if you're really on point with last hits, like you can potentially win that lane. And even if you played as a 5, like you're not really taking damage that much from her hitting you. So like you can sustain a long while. But eventually like you're gonna get kicked out. So like I'm just waiting for this magic pick here that they're preparing for.
So you're definitely leaning heavily OG so far.
I mean, I want to see this because this is supposed to be Liquid's strongest pick right now. But yeah, I'm feeling like this Tide is very awkward. Like OG, they were very ready for this Tidehunter. Yeah.
No real surprise here. Liquid go back to the Templar Assassin, and to be fair, the loss in the previous game was her first loss on the main stage.
Yeah.
So it's not like the hero is bad by any means, but Liquid are definitely kind of running the same playbook over and over again for Weehaw, which, you know, people had a lot of critiques for Epicenter. They just kept giving Weehaw win range, and you're like, what are you going to do about it? But they kept winning.
I mean, they didn't win the finals, though, did they?
That's true, true.
No,
this is the finals of TI also.
Yeah, because I wanted to say, like, I hope Liquid, like, really relax with this Templar Assassin now. Like, either pick it super late or don't pick it at all. Because a lot of... I'm guessing they're going to ban Monkey King now, so, like, they don't have to deal with that. But, because that hero, it's not the same hero. Like, before she used to win the lanes, and then, like, farming... Like, you're more okay with farming. If you lose the lane and then you go to farm jungle, like, versus a team like OG, that can be rough.
And it's not like Liquid have any particularly strong roamers to help her accelerate that lane that quickly. Ogre Magi most likely going to be played in a core role, and Rubik, you know, telekinesis cooldown is way too much to expect to get any ganks on the mid lane.
It should be a Tide 3 and
Yeah, probably Ogre 5.
Oh, okay, okay.
No, because I'm thinking OG will switch this Tiny to a 4 now. I don't think that's one of Tiny's probably worst matchups in TA. Like in how they how Thompson wants to play,
Right.
Because he wants to run in the he just wants to run on the other side, and he's just running in traps.
What's a good Thompson hero other than Monkey King? Because for sure it has to be banned.
Yeah.
Maybe Pogna?
No, I'm curious to see it. I mean, he might just play the Tiny again. They did win that game before. No, I mean, actually they lost the game. They could have won that game, the first game, where it was Tiny versus Temple.
I think like this Tiny Void combo, Tiny has to be played on like carry or mid.
Yeah, it does help a lot.
Yeah. Because like the Aghanim Daedalus is so great game breaking. It can't be played on offlane.
Even Liquid are baffled, burning a lot of their reserve time for this final ban. They really want to protect this Templar Assassin.
I really want to see what Liquid are thinking too.
I think they're talking about like if the monkey is worth banning or not.
Yeah.
Because Tiny offlane or Enchantress offlane, I think they're saying they can deal with it.
Bruh. Okay, they finally got the Monkey King. A lot of deliberation for that one. Now they got 30 seconds to pick a Juggernaut.
Okay. It's all right. Like he'll be bloodlusted, he'll get a lot of last hits. Eventually though, you will get kicked out by this Ansh, I believe. I mean, it's not the dream pick, but it's playable.
And I guess against this Faceless Void, you may not have to be too concerned about your healing ward getting killed.
Yeah. No, it's a decent healing ward. I mean, Ansh can be annoying. She buys a lot of like...
ranged items.
Yeah.
Yeah, Liquid can definitely stop it.
Okay, there we go. You call it, right?
Yeah, I call it.
You call it. You call it.
That'd be called it.
It's really great with Grimstroke. The other team cannot hit the Phantom's, what is it? Phantom's Embrace?
Yeah, if you decrepify the unit, then you just literally can't hit it off. And another reason why Grimstroke was likely picked is because it's a silence that can't get purged off by Kraken Shell.
Yeah.
You put that on the Tidehunter.
No, this is the nightmare Tidehunter game. Like, if he just gets to Arcane Boots Blink or like Face Boots Blink,
you'll be impressed.
No, but that's all he has to do. Like, don't expect anything more from this Tidehunter.
I mean, yeah, he might not feed as much as last game, but yeah, his impact is probably gonna be minimal.
All right then, gentlemen, I appreciate the thoughts, but I want to hear one last thought, and it's going to come from Purge with the last word.
Winning Grand Finals is a really tough task at TI, and it's also because you have to change your strategy partway through the Grand Finals as the heroes you get comfortable with get banned out. Liquid has been really doing a great job with TA. It's a hero that they haven't picked a huge amount in the past, at least recently, but during the last stage of this tournament, it's been really effective. But in last game, OG showed that they had a great counter with Ember Spirit, having Tiny on support, and other things like that made things really effective. And now OG gets to go back to their regular comfort heroes. They've got Enchantress, they've got the Tiny Void combo, having Grimstroke as a support for Pugna, or for No-Tail hasn't really been contested, but still accomplishes what they need. And on the other side, Liquid grabbing Jug, that should give them a strong laning stage and the ability to kill Enchantress because they can do lots of magic damage. On top of that, they still get Rubik, they still get Tide, and they have the TA, so they can fall back on it. But we'll see if they can still win with the TA either way, despite the enemy picks. With that said, let's throw it over to the casters for game number 3.
Thanks, Purge. Game 3 ready to go between OG and Liquid. Series stands 1-1 at the moment. We're seeing some similarities currencies in the drafts, as well as, of course, some little changes and alterations. But still, the biggest thing that I want to talk about, Fog, is Liquid. They're believing in some of the heroes that really did struggle last game. They're sticking with like these Tide Hunters, these TAs. Do you like that, or does that sort of maybe scare you a bit in the sense that are Liquid running out of options?
I would be a little scared, right? Like, you have to look at this, and they've literally picked Templar Assassin in all the games. And OG, they have to know this is coming. They have heroes that they've been preparing for it, preparing versus one. We saw how hard they were able to play last game and how fast that pace they were trying to set. That's the one thing that I saw Liquid, they do back away from this game though, right? They didn't go for all Creed. They have a Juggernaut who can fight early. They have the Ogre Magi who's a stronger 5 position. And then they have this Rubik that can also make plays around the map. GH, he tried his heart out in the last game as an Enigma, but it is an Enigma. So you're gonna be slower paced because you have to play around your cooldowns. So at least they've addressed that a little bit here on the side of Liquid, but still do have to be a concern for sure, Seb.
Go for a bit of a poke on him, but OG, they have the numbers. They're just going to turn around, look to body block up Miracle. Miracle holding onto the Blade Fury for now. Now Pot Pip, just before the toss comes into play. And we'll get him back underneath the tower. But overall, definitely some things for Liquid to be scared about in the draft. You saw as well, they had to kind of pick their poison right. They have the TA. It was, well, are we gonna lane against a Monkey King from Topson or a Pugner? They opt for the Monkey King ban, but does mean that the Topson Pugner will be there to cause some havoc with the TA in the mid lane. That Decrepify in the laning stage each wave is not going to be fun for WeHeart to deal with.
No, it allows you to secure pretty much almost not all the range creep denies, but you get a lot of those range creeps. Ana will be able to get himself that ruin.
I'm going to try and abuse the fact that he hasn't got that time warp for quite a long time. In 15 seconds,
he'll be fine.
He's able to get back.
Yeah, takes a lot of damage, but No-Tail, same build as last game. He has the Clarities as well as, or the Tangos as well as the Salve. He will salve that one up, and there's 2 bounties left.
There is, yeah, Liquid will be able to claim theirs up top, but you will imagine that that bottom one will eventually be picked up by OG, so overall getting the 3 of the 4 to start this game off with.
See how these mid creeps, Topson will be able to get the 1-for-1, so he gets that range creep deny as well as securing his range creep. And as well gonna get maybe another 2 denies as well. Oh my god, 3 denies on the first wave there, and he's bracing loser, of course.
Definitely going to be a lane where we are going to have to keep our eyes on, as we could seriously see Topson break ahead significantly of the CS of WeHeart's TN.
And a very interesting starting item. I don't think I've ever seen that. It's a crown.
I like it.
In the mid lane, right?
Was it sort of built towards eventually getting what, a Rod of Atos, do you think?
Veil?
Veil? No, the Veil, right.
I think Veil is really nice because it gives you that armor that you're lacking as a Pugna when you're playing versus TA.
Yep, very nice. What were your teammates?
Yep.
The Tiny, the Grimstrokes, a lot of magical to offer when you start making those moves that we know that OG's going to want to do after seeing how they played in Game 2.
I mean, it works well with everybody except for the Enchantress, right? Even Void, your time lock is magical. Sure, that's a very slight, but every little type of application.
He's going to have levels in it, so it's going to hurt.
Topson just waiting to try to get all these range. 5 and 6 to the 2-1 of WeHeart right now.
It's just, I mean, as we're bottom lane.
Kuroko is tanking the. Yeah, he's
he should be fine.
Here.
Just doing his job here, trying to make sure that the pressure isn't applied to Miracle.
Yep. I'm mostly gonna be looking at mid, just because I'll be keeping tabs of those range creep denies for us. As the side lanes, we'll be able to get a decent amount of farm on both of those carries on Liquid and OG. But this, the more important thing is that my control is not getting super shut down in this one up top. Unlike the last game where it was just chain death for him. From the start of the lane, from pretty much level 1, he died back to back to back.
Obviously, we are be able to get the 2-minute rune. Not really one that's going to help him in the lane, though. Just an invis, not the DD or the illusion that could have maybe helped him get a bit of a catch-up in this matchup. It's Topson just continuing to keep the edge, as this hero matchup is very, very painful to play in the lane for the TA.
Yeah, we just have to be careful how he even controls his side blades. He just keeps getting all these denies built up onto him there. He'll secure himself one of those range creeps now, but yeah, 8 denies on the Pugna. But bottom we see Seb. He's not able to get the most down here, but he's still putting pressure on. He's got 7 last hits, but look how low he's got Miracle. Actually forcing the salve, and Kuroki has no regen left either. So no regen on either of them. We see also he's gone for the point in the enchant this game in the laning phase, because you're playing versus Bloodlust. You can be able to dispel that one quite easily, and if he gets an option of a decent creep, of course.
I mean, in this lane, is there a chance that Seb can get caught out by a Blade Fury play, or most of the time will Seb just have the heals to stay alive?
He should have more than enough health and more than enough healing. Like the Blade Fury, it's a decent amount of damage if you have enough stuns, but it's just 1 stun from the Fire Blast, which means he's going to be able to get his heal and a Fairy Fire off. So once that heal kicks in, the spin's not enough damage.
Seeing top lane. Anna able to match the free farm of Miracle down bottom. Both carries getting a good start in their safe lanes.
A couple more denies on Ana. He's already actually used an early courier too. I think Topson made the call. He's like, I don't really need the courier too early on, and you guys could bring you some regen top, and they did. They brought Tyingos and Clarities, and we will see. Helm Byron will picked up. He's going straight for that Veil on the Pugna. I mean, it's going to be crazy early how he gets it, because he started with this crown. Very cool approach here coming out from Topson. And look how tanky he is too. 9 armor. When he's next to his tower, he's sitting at 12. So that harassment from Weehaw will not be as significant.
Seeing we are trying is sort of the best approach he can against the Pugna. Every time the Decrepify is being used, try and closes the gap, gets on top of Topson, forcing Topson to sort of stray a little bit back from the creeps. Pressure's on top. For GH, look at those bashes. Stroke won't hit, so GH will be fine to walk off. Mind control, turning and beating down onto Notel. In return, it's Notel will have to keep his distance. Will be able to do so. Mind control, of course, getting good farm up top.
Breaks the salve with the gush there.
Mid lane though, has been caught out by a bit of a move from Jerax. He's trying to switch the Mango in to go for a Mango refraction play, but that 6 seconds far too long. Jerax setting up for Topson in mid and making sure that mid lane continues to be a nasty place for the Weehaw TA to be.
Bounty Rune's going to be spawning as well. Jerax going to try to at least claim one for his team here. We'll be able to get one, Miracle will be able to get the other one as top.
And Mind Control's able to get behind the tower and get Notel. Push them away, GH.
Oh, he kills it.
He knows that Anna's got the time warp. Doesn't want to let Anna have the chance of going for it. Does mean that Anna has the time warp to try and turn and chase towards GH. Another gush from Mind Control will be there though. Slows Anna down and GH will be able to walk out alive.
This is where Jerax now. This is a really important play here. If he can get this set up and kill Weehaw in the mid lane, Weehaw's actually already getting turned with the Veil. Is it enough? Ooh, he's very close. Jerax is already running over.
Weehaw.
He just used the TP to come back mid.
He's going for the walk back.
Jerax knows. There's no shrine available top either. It was used already by the side of Liquid.
He's just going to try and get a little bit out of the jungle whilst he has the mana to play around with Refraction and Meld.
There's a glyph available though. Topson and Jerax are set up. There's a glyph and it's the 5-minute siege wave. So Topson, he's going to look to just take this mid tower here. GH showing up to try to pull the creep aggro. We'll only get the one creep aggro though for now. From this tower, they will be forced to pop glyph to
They can
defend
turn
it.
towards GH. Jerax is down the high ground. Veil's going to be out onto GH. Avalanche for Jerax is to try and close the gap to Decrepify into the life drain. He just gets slowly drained down and out. He'll turn with a stick charge and a Fade Bolt. But GH's fate is sealed. It's Topson.
Jerax is still in the area. He has a toss back.
Topson.
He has a dust too, so he's waiting.
Yeah.
Thought maybe he melded there.
And keeping Weehaw away from the lane, away from any chance of finding farm.
I love this, going for this Veil build on Topson. It's super clever being able to get it so early on. It's just applying so much extra pressure that you normally would not be able to do as a Pugna.
You see, but still Jerax just
Toyed with it.
stopping Weehaw from getting close. It's going to take a bit of damage. We'll toss Weehaw back into the Ancients. Avalanche as well, and with the Black Dragons beating down on Weehaw, Jerax is able to trade a good bit of damage.
Might go down here though. GH is walking over, but in the meantime, Ana and Notel up top are able to get the kill.
Jerax is going to go for the TP in that spot. They do not see him. Telekinesis was still unavailable, so they wouldn't have been able to catch him anyway. OG, this mid lane tier 1 tower, they're pushing it down. Topson's able to play such a fast pace. This Pugna versus TA matchup that he loves bottom.
Oh my goodness. The neutral creeps actually turned onto him while he was getting impetus. He almost died farming that hard camp.
Well, Topson, he's dragged down the tower, wants to lose the spray out, TP's out of there. Continuing to toy with Liquid, drawing the attention of 4 members of Liquid towards that mid lane. They don't get him. He's out to safety.
And now Miracle, who he's been having a pretty decent time in that bottom lane, 40 and 6. Enchantress has hit 6. We know what happens when Enchantress hits 6. You get forced out of lane. It's exactly what's happened now to Miracle. And he's pushed to the jungle for the time being. He's gonna farm maybe under the tower here.
Miracle
Camping here. He's pinging it out. He wants someone to rotate because he has the Omni.
He's feeling that there could be a chance to find some action mid lane. Decrepify setups there. Jerax is prepared with the dust. Weehaw cannot hide in the shadows. They see him every time and the tower goes down. And 8 minutes in, top lane Mind Control getting bashed up by Anna and Notel. Should have another time walk available in a second. Seb running himself away from Kura again into the trees. Gets the heal up, but the Omni slash from Miracle will secure the kill down bottom. the same time up top, they find eventually Mind Control's ties as they continue the chase. An off-laner for an off-laner.
And they're spamming the taunts because Miracle, he really wanted to hold on to Omni Slash there. He tried to just get the kill with the spin, but it was not enough damage. They're forced to actually throw the Omni Slash to bring down Seb.
And Thompson is just able to pull so much attention towards this mid lane now.
Yeah.
He's feeling strong and confident with the brown boots, wind lace and veil. He can run around and just be such a nuisance.
And the draft panel mentioned how hard of a Tide Hunter game it was going to be. Mind Control had a decent start, but now he is completely shut down as mid.
And get the Inkspot stun onto We Are. GH is there to help out. Another blast. Mind Control heading over. He's only level 4 on the Tide at this point.
I think they thought he was higher level than that. Noto throws the silence on him, but it's only level 4 Tide.
And they're going to live train him down. Slows there with a stroke of fate. Will be able to crack his shell up, but Jarex with pixel perfect body blocking there. Well, I say that, Miracle's going to come in with a Blade Fury. They punish Jarex for it. They do lose Mind Control. Support for an off lane. And you're just seeing Liquid, they're having to bring the whole team to mid lane to deal with the shenanigans of this Pugna.
And immediately Miracle is now going to start getting pressured again too. He's even going to dig in front. He just dug in front of him. They're having way too much
He's
on
feeling it, Thompson.
They have on a free farming top, right? This is a Treads into Midas Void who has pushed the Tide Hunter completely out of lane. And like we said, Mind Control, he's 1 in 3
The
this game
Phantom
again.
Embrace, and it's such a nasty combo to crepify Phantom Embrace. There is no counter.
There is no counter.
There is no counter.
Well, till later. Then maybe when they get BKBs or something. But yeah.
Oh,
Thompson.
hey, they may
Bit alone.
have dove a little too far this time. They surround him. Thompson will fall finally. They're able to get that spooky little skeleton boy out of their half of the map. But
look
kill him off.
Look at where it's happening. He forces everybody to go from there, and that just solidifies OG to get 4 bounty runes. It hurts because they lose their core, but in a net worth advantage, that actually favors OG.
Oh, it's a 4K lead at 10 minutes in for OG.
And we talked about Midas's. Midas Void coming out soon. Midas Enchantress is already finished, and they're just looking around to keep the pressure going. Mind Control, 1 in 3 in the game again, and his game is not going to get easier.
He's got an
on this
inventory.
Tide Hunter.
He TP's up top. He's going to look for the setup, the toss back. Mind Control still has not got that 6 in the Ravage. GH has got his own level 6. Jarex is going to look to set up onto him instead. They'll throw it back into the Chrono, catching the 2 of them. OG, they just can't help themselves. They can't stop making plays.
You can just tell how much fun they're having in the game. Spamming the chat wheel, spamming the losers, running around making kills happen, and not stopping. Again, Thompson. So we saw them doing in the last game too, just looking around, running around. Where's Weehaw is the question. That's who they want, as they know he's just going to back up in jungle. This is getting pretty out of control already, a 5K advantage. They're finding Miracle. Thompson is going to get stunned up.
And the Miracle, he's got the Blade Fury and the Omni Slash to play around with. Soulbind's going to lock the 2 of them down together as No Tail's looking to turn, moves in with the silence. The double grenade, both dead. The Ravage comes out, but they've already lost the 2 of them. They'll get No Tail in response. But now OG, they can turn and collapse onto Mind Control, surrounding the Tide. Jarex and Thompson, Seb, they're not going to stop chasing this. A trap slow will come out, it doesn't matter. Thompson, another decrepify blast, secures him the triple kill.
He's going for another.
They're not done yet, OGGH. He's got the stolen ink swell, they'll keep their distance. Jarex closes the gap. GH is enchanted, taken out. Ultra kill for Thompson, 11 minutes in. There is nothing that can stop this man.
This is just getting so out of control. It's just, look at the net worths. They almost have 4 of the 5 top net worths in the game. Miracle has no place to go in the game. He's running around trying to salvage the problems that are happening absolutely everywhere in the game because he's level 7 as Jug. But look at this hero damage. It's 12 minutes in and he has 10,000 hero damage.
Absolutely. You know, this is just numbers that are unheard of this early on in the game. The Thompson Pugna, I mean, they took their chances, right, as we said in the draft.
Pick your poison.
But ban the Monkey King. The Thompson Pugna was always going to be left in. They've got to kill him. They've got to do something about it. They'll surround him. They've got the Blade Fury. They have got the stun. Thompson falling low. Put the stick charge. Tries to stab with the life trap, but they kill him off. Big kill here for Liquid. Can they get more? The rest of OG have turned up. They'll focus down Miracle. Anna is coming in with the wraparound, and Anna, he's nearly got the Chronosphere back online. Liquid have to be a little careful how they approach this. Jarex forcing We Are away from the rest of his team. Miracle, he's trying to run. Chrono's going to be back up in 5 seconds. Quick tread switch and a time walk forward from Anna allows him to close the gap. If he wants to pop the Chrono for this, there's 3 heroes. He's thinking about it. The Shrine has been used. They're healing up. Anna trying to find the perfect angle. No-Tail's coming in with the wraparound. Mike Control's back in. No Ravage though. Toss over, keeping them bunched together. Anna, he's still trying to see if he can find that perfect opportunity. He may not even need it. The Phantom Embrace. It's on Mind Control. The output of the damage for Seb's impetus is too much for Mind Control to withstand.
And they found Miracle.
There's the catch. They'll get Miracle separated. He's shut down. He's silenced up. He did get the Blade Fury off, but the Soul Mind Control with the impetus is far too much for him to deal with. As OG,
Oh my god, they keep looking for more.
they're just giving us the repeat of game 2.
In the same exact area, at the same exact time too. It's like 12 minutes in, 10 heroes gathered around the Ancients areas. Weeha's like, okay, well, I can't really fight this. I have to find my own time. Weeha's actually gonna go for a Blink Dagger to try to match and be able to fight and be able to respond to OG's aggression.
Look at the drag. Onto Jarrett with that telekinesis, but again, OG, they just have the numbers here. Liquid are not ready to take these fights.
This is just an absolute dismantling coming up from OG. They're not giving them any room at all. And it's not this time like they have all these long duration ultimates. They're just punishing them for everything. The Jug pick, he's not really farming at all. Weeha either. Everybody on the side of OG is farming perfectly fine, and they have Midases.
I mean, Miracle. He walks into lane. He nearly dies immediately to the combo.
Jarrett
Two
did
the
it.
control on Thompson. Again, the Strider with a 4-line avalanche, but Jarrett takes him out. Mind Control poses the Ravage. Have they got the damage to finish these two off? Thompson's still alive. He's able to back off, and now again, the rest of OG's turns up. Seb's in the neighborhood. Toss over for Jarrett. Kuro and GHB focus the X-Well on Jarrett. Does it hit Kuro? It doesn't matter. No-Tail has the stroke of fate, and it's enough alone. As it's now a 10k lead, 3 dead on Liquid, so again, OG will be able to reset, get those bounty runes if they want. They may just keep the pressure on Anna. Down bottom, he's trying to go head-to-head with Weeha. It's the one bash.
There's more support coming in though. Jarax as well as No-Tail are in the area. Weeha will get spooked and push back.
And look at that, just
It's a 10,000 gold lead. The
No.
experience is even 10,000. What are they? Look at these hero levels. A Thompson 13, Seb 12, Weeha's 11, but then look at this, it's all of OG at the top of the board there with the levels, with the gold, with everything. So far in this game, they are just dictating the pace and giving no room to Liquid. All the moves are on their side of the map. Liquid, even if they do get some kills, it's all the way pushed back on their side already.
And you really just have to admire this sort of domination. This isn't some sort of slow-paced farming beatdown. It's not this 5-man push. It's just the want to fight, the coordination from OG, the team play, and the lineup that they have is working so beautifully against Liquid in Game 3, just as it did in Game 2. And it's leaving Liquid no chance to really turn things around. Weeha, he's got the Blink Dagger. Going for that Blink first means that he doesn't have sort of that damage out, but the fight is being brought to him. And with the Blink, if he turns and hits, he's not going to hit hard enough.
I think he's trying to, just like I was saying before, he's trying to make up for the fact that they have nobody else who can really match this fighting pace of OG, but it's a TA into a tough draft that he's against. They expect this Templar Assassin to be coming out, and they've been countering it time and time again, and all these heroes just deal with it incredibly well.
I mean, so who do you go on as this TA? There's an Untouchable Enchantress, there's a Pugna with Decrepify, there's a Void with Time Walk, there's Phantom Embraces, they just have all the answers, OG.
And OG's, look, Ana is pushing bottom by himself, while in the mid lane, they're taking that tower as well. Weeha is jungling the enemy jungle. This has gotten completely out of hand. OG just, it looks like they have Liquid's notebook and they're just looking through and they're like, oh, this is where they're gonna be next. This is what they're gonna do next. They just have a perfect read of what Liquid's trying to do in the game.
Blink Dagger and Thompson now on top of her. Of course, there's already very stacked item build of Veil and Ether Lens.
They might just go
17 minutes in.
Thompson's just gonna start poking high ground. He's got an Arcane Rune with his Nether Blasts. He's got the Aether Lens, yeah, like you said. And yeah, tier 3 is gonna start getting poked 17 minutes. We are nearly approaching a 1,000 gold per minute lead too for the side of OG with this type of draft.
And Liquid, they're gonna try their best to push this away. OG, they have Chronosphere.
Liquid's wrapping around. They've got a smoke. They've got the Ravage. Can they catch OG here? Jarax is the one standing up toward the front lines, waiting to see if something does happen. Tower's already dead. They're already working on their axes.
And if Liquid's gonna make a move, they're gonna make it soon, but they're not gonna get the chance to. Jared jumps in on top of mind control. Phantom Embrace upon him. No chance for a Ravage, but he's back immediately.
They know the only way that they can get caught is if it's from a wraparound. Jerax just waiting there in position. They even have an ops. They even put down a sentry to take out Liquid's vision too. Liquid has no vision of these backlines now.
They're taking the racks. Absolutely perfect. 18 minutes in.
My God. This is unbelievable.
2 games in a row. But OG is just giving us the showcase of their lifetime.
It's been like 6 or 7 minutes since Liquid has been able to even find a kill. It's been GH just out of it. GH has been the one getting them, but it's not even these big ones because, like we said, they can't even get aggressive onto the map at all. As Seb just continues to stand in the base. He's a bit far forward here.
If you get the multicast, Anna's going to come in with a backup. They decrepify, keeping Seb safe. They'll pop the Ravage. They're trying to get on top of at least someone. They'll find No Tail. Anna's surrounded. He still has the chrono. He gets the 3 of them. Thompson's able to turn with the life drain. Miracle's there. Mind control toss back into the chrono, making it a beautiful format. Double kill for Thompson. He'll start to run them down one by one, pushing Liquid back towards the fountain. Mind control. It's a dieback effectively. No buyback available. Still on cooldown for 6 minutes.
They're just playing on a totally another level right now. The way they're taking the fights, even the little things. The Omni Slash comes out on the Enchantress. Ana jumps into tanks it and then pulls the Omni Slash into his team. So Miracle gets put in a really awkward position, gets caught in the chrono, and like you said too, the toss into the chrono. I've seen them do this like 4 times in the last game, or in this last game already. And Thompson just continuing to reign supreme in the game, just constantly looking for these aggressive plays.
Ooh, quick blink out from Weeheart will mean that he won't die this time. But can they come back in this game? Liquid down 15k net worth, down a full set of racks before the 20-minute mark. 25-8 in favor of OG.
16,000 gold lead. They're going to get themselves at least 3 bounties, over 10,000 experience league, and that Dota Plus does say the 99% right now. So only a 1% right now for Liquid. It does feel like that as well.
Do you get the flame off in time? Ana!
They actually get it
down. Weeheart's able to get in with a blink meld. Can they get more out of this? No Tail will pick up the rune, has Thompson by his side, but Liquid they're chasing. They'll look to move on to the high ground turnaround there. Jarek's in with the combo, the healing ward is not enough to keep Miracle alive. Miracle's dead for over a minute. It's OG. They can now go back to chasing for more. GH tries for the TP out. Seb finds him, doesn't get enough damage in time. GH will escape. Decrepifies there. Liquid, they do get in, take down a second as they'll find No Tail with a toss back. Avalanche for Jarek, catches the 2 of them. He's got the invis, they don't have detection. They've got AoE.
Got the blink up soon with the refraction.
They will let him be. He's going to be able to blink, or is he? He's not going to be able to blink. He's not going to be able to blink. Thompson.
The ward is down. He popped refraction. He got hit by the damage. He can't actually blink. Gets put back on the cooldown immediately. My God, these fights. I mean,
hey, look at the tie. Thompson's 17-2 and 7.
17-2 and 7.
He's making this look like the easiest game of his life. He really is.
He really is. It's hard to even like point out all the other things, like how well Jerax is playing as well in this game. Just always being in the right place, getting these incredible toss combos. Because Thompson, like you said, has 17 kills at the 21-minute mark.
He's been involved in 24 of the 28. Thompson, he really is. He's the mid that everybody wants on their team. This is the pinnacle of the Dota 2 mid player.
Especially for the carry player. Any carry looks at this and like, wow, I wish my mid player would go around killing everybody every 5 seconds. It's looking pretty out of control here as it's a 19,000 gold lead and they just keep this aggression. Liquid just can't even get their lanes pushed out in this game. All stacked up outside the base. OG keeping them trapped inside of there. But they have everything ready. They have all their tools available to fight.
They've got a rod of ATOS on Seb now as well. Find the jump hook with the Ravage. Weeheart's in as well. Do they have the damage out in time? They do. They kill on Thompson. It's a lot of money going the way of Kuroki though. Can they get more out of this Omni Slash? Bouncing around Jarek. A buyback comes out for Thompson. He wants to rejoin the fight. As OG turns, they'll get one. There's the setup again. Ana with a 3-man chrono catches them all. Double kill for Ana. The toss up to Sable. Taking down Miracle. The Phantom Embraces on Kuro. They'll chase him up to the base. Triple kill for Ana. 2 buybacks to come out from Liquid. But no Tide or Juggernaut available to offer their services for this defense.
And they've already used everything. The Tide Hunter Ravage, Jug Omni'd. I actually think Mind Control may have sold some of his items just to be able to purchase that Blink Dagger for the fight. And even then, they can't even come close to coming out ahead of it.
I mean, they got Thompson.
They got him, but he's back.
That was it. They'll get another jump in. Mind Control trying to commit. Jarrett just turns with the toss avalanche combo. Mind Control out of the game once more. Weah's trying to jump in, find at least Thompson, but he's not going to get it. OG surround him, outnumber them, a toss up, back to the grave. GH is dead, GG is called. OG take game 3, and dare I say, even in a more devastating fashion than game 2. It didn't look like it could get any worse for Liquid after that second game, but I think it just did.
I think they have to find a different type of draft. I don't think the Tidehunter plus the Templar Assassin can work when you're playing versus OG. They seem to just know exactly what they want to do versus it. With this Grimstroke, even with this Pugna, even with the Enchantress as well, I think you have to find something else for Liquid here. Otherwise, we could just have another replay in the next one. OG just seem to know exactly how they want to play around this. They end the game with a 1,000 gold per minute advantage over Team Liquid in the grand finals of TI. They have a 23,000 gold lead. Let's look at some damage numbers too. Like you said, Thompson was involved in 28 of their kills.
17, 3, and 11, Thompson.
He just had this explosive performance. This was unbelievable.
And as you say, to do this in the grand finals, to do it twice, game 2, game 3, are they going to be able to do it in 4th game? If they do, they will secure themselves that championship title. 1 game away, OG right now. Liquid, they've got to change things up entirely as the series stands at the moment 2-1 to OG.
Thank you so much, ODPixel and Fogged. And you know what? I got a message during the first game of the finals. You know, love the panel, all that. But could you talk a little bit more about Thompson? Because I love Thompson, big fan, and I feel like, you know, he's got to be talked about more. You got your wish, because that man is absolutely outstanding at the moment in his 2nd grand finals of his 2nd TI. How is that even possible? We have Jack on the panel as well. Jack, how is that possible?
I wish any of us had an answer to that question. I think it's, you know, like, speaking of improbable stories for this game and where that's happened, this guy literally just, you know, he's a pub star. He comes in, his first tournament, he wins a TI. He's about to be the first person to repeat. If things continue to go well, like they're going to break another curse this year, I guess. Not the repeat, but not the alternating, you know, region, but the repeat. It's incredible.
And like, you just watch him middle, right? Like, he wins the lane, and then he has like this. Why is he dying like that? He always has that one death, and then you look elsewhere, you look on the net worth chart, he's still 1,000 up. You see the rest of his team's just farming. He's just doing everything he has to do, and that's what you need out of a mid player.
He played amazing. OG are 1 game away from being TI champions. And the way they're playing Dota is absolutely beautiful. It is so exciting and fun to watch. These guys are an incredible
Beautiful.
team.
I was thinking disgusting, because it is like, in the best way possible.
Okay.
You swap, they're just running at you. They're behind your tier 3 towers when every single tier 1 is up. Yeah. How is that possible?
It's beautifully disgusting. We'll go with that. We'll combine the two.
I must say, though, I think for any newcomer watching the internationals, like, oh, let's see what this $34 million tournament's all about. You come in, you watch a game like that, and you're like, wow, what's with all these tips? What's with all these challenges? What is going on in the minds of these players? And you know, there's this thing called mental warfare, and I have a guy that can tell you all about that. It is Trent.
Hello.
Hello.
Thank you, panel, for having me. Yes, mental warfare. It's very important to Dota these days, and as God said this morning, you know, OG, they play Dota like an art. These other teams, Liquid, LGD, more of a science thing there, and I thought art. And I went to Seb because he's so good looking. And I thought French art, and I thought Monet, you know? Is that what it's like? You know, French impressions, connecting the human condition to landscape. And I thought, no, it's incorrect. We're in Shanghai. It's Sun Tzu, the art of war. That is OG Dota. So, we have some clips here so you guys can all try and learn how you can be like OG Dota. So first off, we began in the dark ages of mental warfare. That was when there was nothing but all chat. Oh, it was a terrible time. It got tired, it got old, but then Valve, they saved us because they introduced the taunt. The taunt. Not taunting through chat, but through actual actions here, as you can see from the Spirit Breaker doing 360s and snorting his way out of the fountain by Jerax. Truly masterful. I mean, that is a real way to elevate the game of mental warfare. Yes. Moving on. we had a problem, as you guys have seen, the tips. What are these things popping up all over the screen? Well, what happens is if you commit this amazing play, you tip the enemy player. Maybe you tip your teammate. Maybe they're really slaying at this game. Maybe you're going to use that chat wheel that Valve also brought in there. But some of the teams figured out, wait, you can mute that? They can take it off the screen. OG, coming to TI with every team muting them, they had to adapt. And every team did adapt here. So this time, we're working with Team Secret here. Now you can see, what's that little spray? Well, I'm sure it'll become clear in a second, but Zai is actually invis here on the Magnus. He pre-sprays the ground before popping the old skewer there on the Ninja Boogie for the kill. I mean, that is some top-tier mental warfare. You don't come back from that. Sure, you're going to respawn. You're going to be there in the game, but the player behind the keyboard, he's long gone. He's out of that one. Now, the other use of the spray, of course, is to try and control your opponent. And as you can see, runs into some OG sprays. He's like, no, I can't handle this. Just goes the other way. Now, more sprays. OG, EG. This perhaps the best use of a spray the entire tournament. Fly, Jerax, he gives him the spray. Where are you going? That's not the way to safety. I don't know what you're trying to do here. Ring around the rosy, all the way back. Jerax gives him the womp. He falls and dies upon the very spray he just planted. Oh, that's gross. And then even now, in the game you just watched, you have a loser spray down and a dig right on top. Thompson, he just keeps on winning, gets a player card back, and, well, they've also evolved past the spray. Of course, OG, you may have noticed, they've been changing their banners, profile pictures, top-tier stuff here, depending on their opponent. And versus EG, there was no choice but the famous no-tail face before a lovely block there from Jerax. Truly the master of the art of war. You're welcome.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that, Trent, because it is something else watching OG play, and then now we know how we can be more like OG. I think the tipping is still gonna exist after Battle Pass, but you're gonna need to have Dota Plus.
And don't forget, another wise man once said.
Yeah.
You know, sure, some of these teams had a rough year. It's true. But it does not matter how slow you go, as long as you do not stop. Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you.
Who said that? Oh, now I'm curious.
I feel like I just leveled
All
up,
kinds
man.
of questions
I
now.
am ready to go into some pubs, and I'm ready to taunt some opponents and make them feel bad. Thank you, Trent.
I guess that's what Dota is all about. You know, you try to punish your opponent in lane, make him not get any last hits, just annoy them until they're out of the game. Dota 2, everybody.
It's great.
Hey, let's talk about that game 3 we just witnessed, though, because OG is on the verge of being back-to-back international champions, and I can't believe that I'm saying that. That alone is already crazy, but also, Grant, the way that they're doing it.
It's the exact same as last year. They're pretty much picking the same heroes, and they're running at you. And you think about it, it's like, oh, why don't they just match the aggression? They're diving tier 3s at 10 minutes. What heroes, besides the one they're playing, can actually do that? I will say Liquid probably needs to avoid the Tide Hunter. I think that hero, we just saw it, mind control, bottom 3 net worth both games in a row, and that's rough. You can't be putting him on that. That has to hurt the confidence.
And it's a hero that takes up a decent amount of farm. You can't really play Tide without at least a team fight item or two, and OG's running them before they have farm. He is that pure mid player that Liquid wanted, but he's also a guy who wants to hit some creeps. He's playing TA most of these games, and that's a hero that wants to go back to the jungle, farm it up, and I think Liquid style is just too greedy. They need to adapt.
They do need to adapt, indeed. OG, they're in a good place, and of course there were MVP votes again, and there's one person that's even in a little better place with 51,000 votes. It's Thompson. I don't think that is a surprise, right, Jack?
This guy's just if you ask players about Thompson, it's just the way they describe him is just, you know, he plays these builds or things in pubs where like someone would usually get reported for doing that sort of thing. He has these like Grant said, like these kind of weird deaths. You're not kind of sure what's happening. You know, oh, he seems to just be feeding here, but then all of a sudden things just start to work out for them. He's somewhere, he's making space. There's 4 people killing him. Anna's getting what he wants, and then it just somehow mystically works out. And you're getting pulled all over the place when you play against OG. There's always someone like, you know, somewhere behind the creep wave, cutting it somewhere at your tier 2 or tier 3. Some games they're kind of content to sit back a little bit and then they just come back suddenly on high ground. Other games, like Grant said, they just kind of run at you as 4 and they're all over the place. And it's maddening, frankly, to think about and to plan against, especially because against Top10 has such a unique hero pool, such a unique understanding of the heroes that he plays. Some of these heroes we haven't seen anyone else even use in many rounds.
I mean, the Zeus, right? Yeah, he can sit back, do some farm, you know, get those items up, or he can just play Monkey King and sit behind your tower at 10 minutes. He plays an assortment.
Jack, you said that sometimes the players are all over the place. And I know two people that are all over the place as well. It's Casey and Slacks.
Well, hello there. Look at all these beautiful people that we found having an amazing time watching some good Dota, including this guy.
Hi, I'm beautiful too.
Mama hoo hoo. All right, we're going to interview a few people because there are so many people having fun with Dota. Where are you from?
I'm from South Africa.
And what are your thoughts on this tournament so far?
It's amazing. It's perfect. And the series, Anna is having the games of his life. Yeah, for sure. I love every second, and Miracle is my favorite player the last 4 years ago. Either way, just a message for Chinese fans: 中国的 Dota 最好 Dota.
Nice, yeah. I love it. All right, I'm going to hand this to you. Can you be trusted?
Yes. Are we about to see the last game of TI9? What did you do?
Excuse me?
Are we about to see the last game of TI9? Is OG going to win the tournament?
Yeah, of course.
Well, oh, you sound very confident. How do you know that?
Yeah, because they have the best mid and the best carry. Of course.
Whoa, all right, you heavily disagree.
No, support Liquid. Liquid!
Why is Liquid going to come back?
I love Temple Assassin very much. He's my favorite hero, so I support double three.
Templar Assassin doesn't look very good after those last 2 games. Are you sure?
But he plays well when he against LGD. LGD is my favorite team, so yeah, we respect them.
Does anyone think Liquid is going to take this? Yes! Does anyone think? Oh. Let's go Liquid! Let's go Liquid! Does anyone think OG's going to take it? OG? Sounds pretty divided, Casey.
It is. Oh no! We're in the middle of a Dota war.
Oh, we gotta get out of
We've
here.
got Dota OG versus Dota Liquid, and all these people. Look at everybody lining up, so excited about the Dota.
I'll be real with you, I don't care who wins. I just like watching people fight. Let's get back into that series, girl. TI9 is wrapping up.
Wait.
What?
Do you have any idea how you actually sound when you're this loud?
No.
Casey, we're gonna play some Dotes. Yeah. Okay. Woo!
I don't think I'm that cringy. I think I'm actually rather suave. I do an impression of you, but I respect you too much. Now, Shiver, please take us out of this embarrassing moment for Casey.
Thank you. I actually thought Casey was pretty spot on with that one.
Thank you.
I'll get
Very
you finished,
impressive.
Shiver.
Don't worry, let's cut the camera. You'll get them later. I mean, you got the fans. They are very divided. I love seeing that. There's Liquid fans, there's OG fans. The fans are very loud here, too, in the Mercedes-Benz Arena. But we need to get to it, though. We need to talk about what's going to happen in game number 4 because Liquid need to step it up, gods.
They do. And I think it's not just stepping up and playing better. I think it's switching some things up with how they approach the game, picking less greedy heroes, whether it's Mind Control or Weeha. Somebody needs to be more active. You can't just rely on the supports to create space.
Yeah, 100%. I think that Tidehunter finally going to be gone. Maybe we'll see some like an Ogre coming back, even though I believe it was first phase ban. They just need someone who can just run straight at him, and I'm just not even sure what heroes are in the pool that can do that. That's how hard it is to play against OG.
Yeah. We heard Febby say earlier that during a TI finals, the meta normally changes. That is the case in this finals as well, it seems, as we have had Tidehunter be one of the most successful heroes, turning into one of the least successful heroes in the grand finals here. I'm very curious, because obviously the teams are getting 2 minutes, that would be very short, 10 minutes in between games to just reset and, talk about what they will change in the finals. Jack, you've been on the manager side of things for that. What is the team talking about? Are they talking Dota strats? Are they mentally preparing? What's happening in the backstage?
I think you're just watching what's going on, and you're usually preparing kind of for. I would guess in a situation like this for both opponents, maybe they had their favorite on who was going to win, but there also isn't that much time to really drastically change things. So it's not like you can spend all that time just suddenly, dreaming up something new and trying to make it work. So I'm sure they had kind of a plan coming in. I'm sure they saw some of the heroes that were more popular from both teams that were being used in general, and maybe that's why you're seeing this Pugna or something else that they think works out. I'm also a little bit surprised by Liquid so far this series. Against LGD, they seem to want to play incredibly fast and really push the pace early on, and frankly, punished LGD at least in a few of those games, if not all of them successfully. But yet this series, they seem to have a bit of a different approach to that. So I'm not really sure why that is. But again, I don't think there's that much time either for Kuro to go back to the drawing board and say against OG, we got to do something entirely different.
You might just be stuck doing what you're doing and hope you just have a perfect game right. Because if you swap it up now, you might just make your players uncomfortable.
Yeah, it is very difficult to swap your entire playstyle, and perhaps it's even better to just at least go out what you're more comfortable with. And speaking of going out, the players are about to go out of the backstage. I don't know if that works that way, but they're about to go in to the pods. A 1-game lead for OG, and that means they are 1 game away from being back-to-back international champions. And that also means that Liquid is with their backs against the ropes. But guess what? They've been in this situation before. They ran all the way through the lower bracket. They know that they are capable of dealing with this OG squad. And I believe that they are gonna put one heck of a fight in this 4th game of this best-of-5 series. They want to push it to 5. They got the power. Do they have the strats? Does our men have the strats? I think this is where coaches come in, right? This is where you're gonna have all those strats that you had prepared, and then you gotta know and trust that they still work.
Yeah, you do. I mean, on those papers, usually it's if I draft this, if they draft this, I'm going to draft this. But, I mean, you want to stick with that, but clearly it's not working. So maybe you go to, that 2nd, that 3rd, that 4th page in the back, and you're like, all right, we got to dig deep for this one because we don't want to get run over at 20 minutes again.
Saving strats.
The coaches get to see the big picture. The players in the game are so emotionally invested and involved that they're maybe just seeing what's going on in their little microcosm of the game. So the coaches have to come up big. They need to, be able to give the kind of feedback to make those small tweaks that can change a game 4 around.
An invaluable role in Dota 2, definitely one that has evolved over the years as well. Of course, it's only been a couple of years that coaches are even allowed in the booth while drafting. And that has definitely changed. I do want to point out that both of these coaches, we were talking about Soxka on the side of OG and RMN on the side of Team Liquid. They're both original Dota players, as in, we've seen them in TI. RMN was only a sub in TI1, but we're counting that, for the moment.
With Kuroki, he was on Those Two Gamers with Kuroki.
Yep. And Soxka, of course. Soxka has played together with Seb 3.5 years of his career before he took a break to pursue other avenues. But both of these guys, they are fulfilling a it feels like a similar role. They're like the right hand of the captain. They're not sitting in the drafting seat as we see in Chinese teams.
Yeah.
They're just taking a different role. It proves to be the more successful.
Yeah,
it
seems to be. I mean, we saw it. I mean, it's kind of the same in the Western scene with Sunby, right? He's definitely not there like telling Puppy what to pick. He's back there, maybe they have a question, he'll answer it. They'll be like, what do you do if they do this? And he'll just be there to help him out, like move him along. But at the end of the day, whoever's clicking that button, they have the final say.
Yeah, drafts have become, I think, a very, team effort too. Like you heard OG talk about their last TI Grand Finals in True Size as well as their documentary. A lot of it was just putting players on their comfort hero and letting them decide what hero they're going to be playing rather than a captain or drafter saying, you're playing this.
Yeah, and coaches obviously can have very different roles. Sometimes you need someone who's better with the kind of team atmosphere, team psychology, maybe being a bit of a goon as well to make sure people have fun and have a good time and can rebound from losses. Other times you need someone who's a bit more strategically focused or analytical. It kind of really depends on what the team needs. The Dota 1 trend you mentioned is kind of interesting because last year OG's coach, also an old Dota 1 veteran. So is this a new trend? Is this a thing? Do the top teams have to go
bring them
find
back?
Someone from Dota 1?
Yep.
We're going to find out if we are going to have a 5th game to the series or if OG is going to be back-to-back champions right now. It is time for Game 4 of the Grand Finals of the International.
OG versus Team Liquid. Grand Finals, Game 4.
Game 4 beginning with the draft. I'm joined by Pylai and Gunnar, but don't get too comfortable, all right? Pi, I got a question for you. If it was newbie Grand Finals and there's a lot of talk about coaches, if AUI is like, I'm gonna give another TA another go,
yeah,
what would be your reaction? Are you gonna be like, all right, you're the coach, you know what's best, or are you gonna be like, dude, this TA is really not working out?
I mean, I would at least give him a minute to explain.
Okay.
Like, I would hope he would have a reason, you know? Like, and then I would listen to it, and then after that I would decide. But I would probably, like, I would not want to do it. That's how I'm feeling like right now. I'm not in the finals or anything, I'm not drafting here, but I'm just not feeling that hero.
Yeah,
right
and
now.
if we're trying to find symptoms of why Liquid are just getting obliterated in these past 2 games, it definitely seems like the Templar Assassin is not helping them.
Yes. It just seems that it has too many bad matchups versus Thompson's favorite heroes that like run you over. Because I can see the idea why they think it would be good. Like all these traps to make it hard to run in. But if you lose your lane that bad, and it's also like affects, like they're losing that lane and they're losing every other lane these past 2 games. And when you do that, like, I don't know, like, what do you do? It's just extremely hard to play.
I think, like you said, it's really not good against Thompson's hero pool, right? Like TA, Thompson's not like a standard mid laner, right? I don't think you see him as this like TA,
He's very
SF,
non-traditional,
Storm, right?
yeah.
You see him as this like Pugna, Monkey King, you know, Ember to an extent, right? Yeah.
And then I guess Invoker, but even
yeah,
that
Invoker,
he
stuff
plays
like that.
non-traditional,
And
yeah.
TA beats like all the standard heroes, so everyone's really used to playing against TA. And all his heroes are just good against TA. So it's like you said, he's just kind of used to, I'm pretty sure, just beating TA in the TA. Yeah.
Oh, and
no.
as we see the first phase bans, what's the new change? Elder Titan gets banned out, and guess what slips through? It's the IO. OG immediately snap it up.
Yeah, they haven't lost, yeah?
Pi, you were a victim of some Ana IO. What was that experience like?
No, it's one of those, like, the game was, we're feeling pretty good. And then suddenly, like, when that hero hits his timing, like 15 with Ags, like, you're just dying. Like, you're just dying. And I think it's not very complicated to play for him. Like, they don't really care how he does in lane. Like, they want to do fine. But then he's just farming jungle. Like, that's all he does. And he has a very, like, he looks at a fight, right? And he's like, if I want to be there, I click the spell, and I'm there. If I don't want to be there, I'm just going to continue to farm.
It's like having an alchemist combined with a specter in one hero.
A little bit. Like, he doesn't farm that fast, but he farms, like, he doesn't farm that much slower than anyone else. Yeah. And he has insane timings.
His timings are just like better for the gold he gets than most other carries. Yeah. His 15 Ags is like,
yeah, it's
probably the best
insane.
15 timing, I think, in the game right now.
Probably.
No, before talking about our game, it was like the first pick ET, right? And I'm like, oh shit. The Wisp is in the pool. I'm like, oh my god, they're gonna pick Wisp. And like everything, like I had thought about, like everything just looked weak. Like everything just felt weak. And then like, yeah, but then you take a deep breath, you just go with whatever. And like, we can do this.
And Liquid take a breath, and they go for the Chen, which did bring them success in their first game, and they take the Omni Knight, which OG had picked earlier.
I'm a little surprised they didn't go for AA. I believe it's been banned out every game here, because like
because the Alchemist AA.
Yeah, it's Alchemist. It's good versus, pretty good versus Shen, pretty good versus Omni Knight. I don't think OG will pick it here though. It's kind of awkward playing with a Wisp.
They don't really have stuns either.
Yeah. So I'm hoping Liquid have like, you know, their last pick, right? So they have like a lot of avenues opened up now. I hope.
I'm a little scared right now of this Wisp because.
Only a little.
Yeah. Okay. So commonly.
Wait, of this Wisp or for this Wisp?
Of.
Oh, okay.
Because commonly you want like a hero that gets on top of this Wisp, right? Especially that 15 timing. He's scariest when his balls are max range.
Yeah.
Right.
And he's able to like chase you, and then you get slowed. So if you get a little closer, he pulls him in a little, and he stays at this like max range basically. And neither of those heroes are full commit heroes, right?
Right.
The Omni can supplement like one if you have like an Ember, say, right? He can go in with a Grace, and that's decent. But these two are more like you want to fight. They want you to fight into them, right? They want you to find this Chen and this Omni for a lot of heal. And I think that's playing the Wisp's game right now.
This actually reminds me a bit. Liquid plays Secret, right?
Yeah.
And I believe Secret picked Wisp one of the games.
Yes.
They did.
And it was one of those, like, and Liquid had a similar like thing going on there with like a lot of heal and like they would push down buildings, and they just didn't let Secret get to their timings. Like they already had a Rax before Wisp was level 15.
Wasn't that was that the Meepo game though?
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
it was the Meepo
So
game.
Meepo is banned out.
Meepo's already gone. Yeah. So now I'm hoping. That's why I'm like I'm hoping they have something, because you need this extreme like it just kills everything that's in front of it. So maybe a Leshrac or something like that. Lesh is gone, so
Yeah, OG's been consistently banning that.
Yeah, because I don't want them to end up with the life stealers or something.
Yeah.
I don't.
Other teams had tried the life stealer against the IO and it did not work.
Yeah.
I mean, it's too slow, right?
Yeah.
Like you get this Mighty's Radiance timing, and you're still weaker than the Wisp.
Yeah. And they also have to. Okay, there's a tiny pick, but Jarex has played it now. Thompson has played it, so they'll probably like hold on a bit. They'll see who plays it later. Because we played against the Bristleback mid with Iron, and that was spooky. That was frightening.
The other ones they played are Gyro mid, Troll mid,
Mm.
and Windrunner mid. So a bunch of these like attack speed or attack targets, I guess, steroids kind of thing.
So in this Secret versus Liquid game that Team Secret had picked the IO, Liquid went for a Chen, a Tidehunter, an Earth Spirit, a Leshrac, and a Meepo.
Yeah.
So the Meepo and Leshrac are banned out. Tidehunter's still available, but we're not enthusiastic about that
So-
hero. But Bristleback gets selected instead.
This was Liquid versus, or no, this was Secret versus
Secret
Vichu,
versus-
right? That they picked Omni Bristle versus the Alk.
Yes.
Yeah, and then they ran this Omni Bristle and they won the game in 20 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope that's what they're going for. I mean, I'm guessing that. And I think they kind of stole it a bit from OG now too, the Bristle. Limited their options.
OG had a Wisp, right, with it though? It was like Omni Bristle Wisp.
Yes.
That was way scary, but they have a Chen to kind of like take place of the Wisp.
Yeah.
So most likely a no-tail Abaddon.
Yeah, because I feel like how the drafts are setting up, like Liquid actually have a chance here to get a draft that they can end this game quickly with.
What about a 3 ABBA?
Yeah.
You laid in against the Omni Knight?
I mean, I'm guessing that's like something like that. I haven't really seen. I know that RNG played a lot of Abaddon.
Some of the Chinese teams play it as a 3.
I didn't look at a lot of replays though. I'm not really sure how strong is in lane or
They
what his timings
they go
are.
like 0-2-1. They don't. They skip Miscoil early, and then they go early like Vlad Solar Crest and just kind of buff your team up.
okay.
Yeah, sometimes they'll just straight up take Curse at 1 and just harass.
Yeah, just hit people.
Yeah.
So they picked Liquid pick Earth Spirit, right? Last time they were against Wisp in the Secret game.
Yeah.
So I think they're kind of like confident, right, with what happened.
I think they're feeling pretty good right now.
But they're still lacking the most important thing in that draft, in my opinion, which was the Leshrac and the Meepo. These are heroes that take structures during the downtime period, which Bristleback can kind of achieve that, but he needs some levels and some farm. He's definitely much slower than a Meepo or a Leshrac.
Yeah. So So the last pick for Liquid is interesting. But on the other hand, like they'll see OG's picks now, and Timbersaw.
Timbersaw. So a hero that can deal with Bristleback, obviously, if you have reactive armor, then you're not too concerned about Quill Spray being spammed on you.
Yeah, I mean, for OG, it's good that they picked this, because they need to buy time when Liquid are running down lanes. So, like, they can cut waves, spam out creep waves, so they need something like that.
How does this Wisp scale to like 30, 35, 40 minutes? Like, do you think this OG
games
lineup?
never go late enough, unfortunately.
No, I have a feeling, like, if Liquid don't have like a substantial advantage by Wisp hitting 15 with Axe, I think this game is going to be really hard for them. It's just too much consistent damage without them being able to go on. Like, they have an Abaddon just shielding this Wisp, right?
Yeah,
Like, if it gets to that point, then Liquid are not ahead. I think this... We still have one more pick. Like, maybe they'll pull something out. But how it's looking right now, like, they need to get an advantage within the, like, first 20-25 minutes.
So even if the game's even at like 25 minutes, you think they'll lose, right?
Yeah, I feel OG should be.
What a great hero Wisp is these days.
Oh yeah. I mean, to be fair, this is nothing new. IO being first phase picked is a very common thing in Dota 2 history. It's just not in this role exactly.
No, exactly. No. That's the funny part. You're just first picking. Everyone knows it's your carry. It's carry Wisp right there.
I mean, I don't think it's had this high of a win rate, right? I think it has like maybe one loss.
Yeah.
I don't know. I remember like back. I think it was TI when it was released, like TI3, I guess. Then I'm pretty sure the win rate was insane.
The first TI that he showed up was pretty insane. Even though it was very Western biased, very few Chinese teams were doing it. I think it was just eHome at the time with their tinies and stuff.
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
that was like TI2, I think. And they won every game they played.
That's right.
Really? Yeah.
But other teams were still sleeping on it.
Yeah.
Every single. That's one of the reasons why I considered Liquid. I had mentioned this on an earlier draft panel. Earlier in the season, Liquid weren't looking too great, and it's because IO wasn't in captain's mode.
Yeah.
You had a free ban against Liquid every single time.
Yeah.
Just now, it's a carry IO, which it's a brave new world.
The funny part about the carry IO is it's not some high skill cap. It's nothing like that. It's
pretty straightforward.
It's very straightforward. It's
you go Bassi.
Yeah.
You buy your Helmet Dominator.
Yeah.
you buy Ags, you buy Heart.
Win the game.
And once you have Heart, you can ditch your Hod creep and tether your mid laner.
Yeah.
Or your off laner.
Which, that's a good question. So do you think OG are going to look for someone to enable with their IO, like how they did the Bristleback in the past, or is the dude self-sufficient enough that if you have like the Tiny and the Timbersaw, that's the only partner you need?
Yeah, I'm a little curious how they're thinking about the lanes here. I don't think Thompson plays Timbersaw.
I haven't seen it before.
So
it may have happened.
I'm guessing this is an off-lane Timbersaw. Do you think there's any world where this Wisp is not a carry?
Okay.
Oh,
now there might be actually.
I think it's a mid gyro.
Yeah.
Okay.
Off lane, there's side lane Timber versus there's Bristleback.
Yeah.
And then a 4 Tiny, a 5 Abba, carry Wisp.
One Anna. Okay.
That sounds about what they would do. No, because I think if Wisp is still viable as a 4 with gyro. Because that lane, if you play that right, it's really strong.
Or you can just let both of them be cores, and then it's really, really strong.
Then it gets extra spice. So Liquid needs a carry or a mid, depending on what they want this Bristle to do.
OG is expecting it to be a mid because they banned out the Shadow Fiend.
So I think the Bristle gyro lane is actually decent for the Bristle.
Okay.
So it's not going to be a Templar Assassin, but we'll go to another Weehawk Classic. It would be the Wind Ranger.
I like the idea of the hero better. I don't know how good it is this game. I'm unsure. I actually don't think it's that good. But like the idea is correct. Like you have spells that you can use on them.
It has a lot of damage that they can actually kill the Wisp at the start, right? Even through shield, I think. The Wisp is killable. If the winner has like, MKB, BKB, you can't really stop him. Wisp doesn't really go MKB either for the evasion, so.
It's rare, but I guess also in a traditional sense, like IO being tethered to another unit, gives potential shackle targets, stuff like that. But this is the last potential game for Team Liquid. Will they be able to stay in this grand final bracket? Maybe Purge can give a little bit more explanation as we pass it to him with the last word.
If you guys are just getting here, IO is the carry that has been dominating the tournament, at least one of them, and Liquid gets a chance to see if they can break it, but the downside is that they don't get the same heroes that they were able to use earlier to defeat it, so it's going to be a lot harder to beat it. So what they ended up doing instead is trying to abuse Chen. One of the benefits of Chen is that his aura increases the healing that any of his nearby allies or creeps give, and they're pairing that with another hero that can heal, Omni Knight. So those two guys can heal and buff up their strong tanky hero Bristleback and make him pretty close to unkillable. But on the other side, what OG's playing around with is also pretty strong. They've got Io, they've got the Tiny, they've got Abaddon who can also buff up, but most importantly they have Timbersaw. And Timber's a hero that has some flexibility in how effective he is, but most importantly his first skill will reduce the strength or primary stat, and there's a lot of strength heroes over on the Liquid side, so it's very possible that Timber can run away with this game if he has a good match. Keep an eye on him. Without further ado, Game 4 of the TI Grand Finals. Let's start at the casters.
Thank you, Purge. Game 4. OG up at the moment in this best of 5, 2-1 against Liquid. Their last 2 games, some of the most dominant performances we've seen from them from the entire tournament. In this game 4, Liquid, they have had the chance to switch it up. We're not seeing the TA. We are going to be going back to the Weehawk Wind Ranger. It is something a little different. It's something we know he's good at, but is it good enough to beat the OG IO, Giannis?
They've definitely looked to go for something that's more early game centric. The last 2 drafts, they went for the Tidehunter, the TA, and a Jug, or Tidehunter, TA, and Lifestealer. Very slow paced draft. This time, they get their Chen. They've been very good with the Chen, as we saw them also playing it earlier on today. They're very good at playing aggressive and making moves around the map, either with GH playing a Tusk or GH playing Ursper. I feel like I always see them having one of these 2 combos with that Chen to make those moves around. And Bristleback too. This is a very early paced hero, as we see the Goo as well as the Spray get picked up at 1 and 2, and you are pretty much the strongest hero on the map when you have that. And we see them immediately set up with an aggro tri-lane. They have a Headdress on Kuroki for that extra health regen, and they really want to put the pressure to shut down Ana on the IO.
Let's see if they can do it. We saw some scary stats on the Ana IO low into this game. He is 19-1 in the last 20 games he's played. And of course, here at TI, 5-0, no one has been able to beat him. Liquid are going to have to see if they can do it in their last chance here.
No, this is the Goo that we're talking about, that really strong level 1. Well, they can actually go the dive, though. He has a shield available, and they actually can. Doesn't have a salve on himself this time around, though, like he did in the last 2 games. And also, I believe with the carry IO, not every single time, but they did have an Elder Titan with it most of the times. That's where I feel like it helps a lot when you're playing into aggro lanes, because you cannot aggro tri-lane into an Elder Titan most of the time. So this time it's going to be Abaddon, who's not nearly as strong as that ET.
Oh, we'll see Liquid with that start, able to make sure that the creep wave meets underneath the tower so they can get them the creep equilibrium in their favor. Very interesting to watch some of these other lanes, see how Weehaw can get off to a start against the Topson mid Gyro. He should have a decent shot here, right, in this 1v1?
Yeah, he should be able to. He has higher base damage. Yeah. The thing about Gyrocopter is you have this godly animation. One of the best animations in the game that's absolutely instant on range zeros, and you have missiles, and you have a Tiny who's going to constantly be throwing Weehaw back into the tower.
That's a lot of hands there, and it all looks to add up. They drag him back. He's got the point in the win run, looking for the body blocks. Jax won't be able to quite get it entirely, but still able to get a good amount of damage done to Weehaw in mid.
Has to be careful for that next toss back as Jerax is going to go for it again.
He is. Jerax going deep behind the tower, seeing if he has the control. Up he goes with the toss. Topson closing in. Wim runs back online. As Weehaw can hold his distance, but OG already getting incredibly aggressive in this middle lane.
It's the way they like to play with the Jerax on the Tiny. Just run around, shut down the mid laner. Doesn't matter what hero it is. You're going to be able to just throw him every single time he walks up for a toss. Weehaw gets his full salve off.
We're certainly seeing, though, down bottom, this tri-lane, it is able to bring these heroes down pretty low. Obviously, the question is if they can push them over the edge and get the kills, but the aggression certainly is there. And once the level 2s come out for the 3 members of Liquid, we'll see that pressure amped up even more. Jax is going to come down, help turn this duo into a tri-lane from OG as Kuro pops the Fairy Fire, won't save him. Miscall from No-Tail, gets the kill. Now Anna's going to be the focus. Miracle and GH trying to get on top of him, but a quick body block from No-Tail and a shield handed over to Anna will mean that Liquid cannot chase any further.
Just eyes on Jerax, right? Jerax is going to just move from lane to lane to lane, looking to just punish the aggressive tri-lane of Liquid, as they can't really respond too well. Chen, not really a hero that wants to be moving around TPing at all. It's GH who has to respond to any types of ganks that Jerax does, and it doesn't feel nearly as good as an Earthspirit, and he's kind of limited on mana as well.
So it sort of talks about the mid, talks about the bottom. This top lane, a 1v1, Seb versus Mind Control, the Timber versus the Omni. What do we expect from this matchup?
I haven't gotten to see this one too often, but I think that they're both going to just be able to farm. I think Seb might actually be able to bully Mind Control a bit, just because you don't have to worry too much about your regen. While on Mind Control, you have to worry about your mana sometimes. But I think they're both going to just end up trading farm and pulling creep waves and whatnot like that, so should be relatively even.
No, definitely seeing, though, this pressure down bottom is continuing to make sure it's very hard for Anna to farm with the rolling onto No-Tail. Liquid I'll take one out of the lane. Anna only being able to get 4 CS so far in this bottom lane. Already Liquid's change up in draft and different approach. It's looking so much better here in the first 3 minutes of game 4.
Oh, for sure. 16 and 11 on Miracle, right? He's getting all these free last hits and denies.
They are running this bottom lane perfectly, keeping this tri-lane advantage.
Top is just manipulation of free waves, because I think Mind Control is starting to realize that if he stays toe-to-toe versus the Timber, he's going to have some problems, so he's cutting the wave. Bottom. Jerax is running over toward the area. He's only level 1 though, so still not having that stun available for the Tiny just yet to go for those toss back into the tower and stun plays. And it looks like they will be constantly burning the mana of No-Tail with this Satyr Mind Stealer that is keeping him very low on mana.
For Liquid, obviously the interest to keep this pressure on, and then they have to find objectives with it. Anna, as the IO, will have that comeback mechanic. Sort of once he hits the level 4, going into the jungle, using the spirits to farm those neutrals. So they've got to make as much as they can happen in this favorable lane setup that Liquid have. Another commitment on towards Anna, separating him from No-Tail. He'll be able to tether himself back across. See if they can beat down through this overcharge. No-Tail pops the stick charges, the spirits around. Turn towards Miracle, but Mango's popped. He still has the mana to fight with. Another shield will hold them all.
It really is a pretty fun lane, though, coming out from OG, right? He's like, oh, I just heal the IO, and the IO heals me. So they're going to be able to always do that and be able to remove all those blue stacks off with the shield as well. It's actually a really clever lane coming out. And he's even maxing, or putting multiple points inside that miscoil for the health efficiency. He miscoils the IO and heals himself for even more because of that.
5-minute runes come up. And OG, they want to try and tackle this 3-on-3. No-Tail doing his best to draw their attention away. The avalanche is out onto Miracle. Jax tries to chase the other, but Liquid, they'll be able to grab both of them. Taking the bouncy runes away. Only the one going the way of OG up top. As Liquid continuing to look like this different approach to the lanes is certainly the answer they've been looking for.
They're not killing them, though. They only killed No-Tail once because of how many stick charges they're getting fed down here. The Bristleback just constantly spamming the Quill, spamming the Goo. Everyone's sitting at like 10 stick charges every time they try to make an aggressive move. Now Miracle is up a bit far here.
Jerax going to be able to make sure that Miracle cannot make the smooth run up towards the top. Another shield's out for Notail. He may be low, but he's more than safe. Jarex with the toss-up. GH pops the stick charges. He's trying to escape. Notail keeping on top of him. That Aphotic shield's going to pop soon. It may not even need to as GH is running. One more right click or a miscoil out. That'll do it. The shield pops. They get the kill. And it does fall, though. Liquid getting the trade.
Nice. He actually did not pop his magic one there. A bit too much damage coming out. I think the Alpha Wolf and the right click from the Chen caught him off guard how much it actually was there. But mid is the big one. These rotations from Jarex from earlier, Thompson has over a full level advantage onto Weehaw now.
He's struggling.
34-13 to the 19-4. This animation and just getting that extra Wraith Band early really coming into play. And at bottom.
Roll up for GH, but a great toss from Jarex. Keeps Anna on top of the Earth Spirit. Spirits are out though. So the damage looks like it may not be there unless they can keep the vision, and they can. Tossed in, stick charge pop though. GH, he's got Miracle by his side. They won't be able to dive for him, and Liquid keep them all alive.
But so they've done a good job bottom of making sure that Miracle's farm. Thompson though getting aggressive top onto Mind Control. They should be able to chase this one back. The counter out of mana. They popped the Shrine for some mana for the Timber, but Mind Control will be fine. Liquid being forced to use their bottom Shrine too, because the one thing that they're doing, they were putting pressure on and they were getting good farm, but the sustain that's actually coming out from this bottom lane is just too much for them a bit here. As Ana is starting to get this farm built up to those 20 last hits.
The mid lane seems to be the focus for Liquid. They've left Miracle alone. They're trying to collapse in onto Thompson. Thompson, he gets the cooldown off, but the Hellbear smashes in with the clap. Liquid making these moves around Kuro and his army. Getting the pressure on, catching out Thompson mid. Gotta keep this tempo up. They're starting to really show that they have within them what OG's been bringing in the first 7 minutes of the last 2 games. They can match this tempo.
And look at Miracle, but down bottom, even pulling away these 2 heroes, even though they do have all their wand charges built up. Now it's up to 17 as well. He is pushing them away from the creep wave. That double sustain, though, coming into play.
Back to Mold's mid. Another collapse here from Liquid as they look to dive in on Jarex. They get the kill. Thompson's going to look to try and turn, keep himself on top of Kuro. He has his army ready to tank some of the damage. Thompson is not going to be able to get this kill by the looks of it. Another one charge from Kuro keeps it back alive. The cooldown will be dropped, but Liquid, they can get themselves out of range of it.
They have so much damage in the mid lane right now for Liquid. With Weehawk rushing that Javelin build, he's able to actually punch back onto Thompson pretty hard there every time he does commit forward for a kill. Gives a lot of time to Seb, though, as they made that 4-man rotation earlier. Now he's all the way up to level 8. He's got the max reactive armor.
Same to be said, though, for Mind Control. We're seeing pretty much continuation of an even farm between these offlaners.
Yep.
They're both getting exactly the same amount out of this top half of the map. And so far, no one else has been interested in coming over and getting involved. Now, though, that will change. GH and Kuroki, they're looking towards Seb. Going to bring in Weehaw as well. Weehaw, the focus fire. Have they got the control? There's the rolling with the stun. Shackle shot follow up from Weehaw, along with the power shot. Will do it. Liquid making the maneuvers to put Seb's happy little time on that top lane to an end.
Great use of the Divine Favor there from Kuroki to bring Weehaw around freely and saving his TP, so he can constantly be able to move around the map if he has to respond to anything else. Very nice aggressive move, and that's the Javelin coming into play. Since it's magical damage, it's 100 bonus magical damage when you use that Focus Fire versus Timber. Who cares if he has 25 reactive armor stacks? They get themselves a decent amount of pressure on the tower too, getting it down to about 700 HP right now.
Seb's going to come back in, make sure that tower doesn't fall too early.
GH is already moving his way toward top. They don't have another Divine Favor to bring into the Wind Ranger.
So I feel like it's a hard kill without that damage that Weehaw offers.
Feels like an impossible kill without Weehaw.
The 3 of them can only sort of sit aside and watch as Seb farms the wave under the tower.
Yeah.
See what their intentions are with this move. 10-minute runes are going to come up. See if Liquid can keep a favorable hold of them this time. Mid lane's going to be the focus. TP's coming immediately, and he shares the shackle off actually before the missile connects. He's able to turn right click into Jarex. He's tanking the tower too, Jarex. Lines of the power shot. He's not going to be able to find it though. Doesn't get the angle, and Jarex, he can continue to walk away. Liquid are chasing. Another power shot will be available in a second. Can Weehaw hit it? He's going to try. Not going to find it, Jarex. He's got the position to TP out behind the trees and will make it back to safety, but Weehaw does live.
He wastes so much of their time there, and even a TP to protect Weehaw. What does that mean? That's just the space. This is what OG wants to do, right? Allow Ana to catch back up after he had a little bit of a rough laning start and get the Dominator, and the Dominator is finished now at this 10-minute mark. So that is where you really start to get enabled quite a lot in the IO to make your moves around the map. But Liquid, they're trying to keep the pressure going. Don't let OG get away with that greed that they're trying to pull off right now. Try to get some tower damage. Every single time a tower is going to start getting pressured, though, you'll see this rotation by Seb. He wants to make sure they don't actually get any of these towers too early. He doesn't have many reactive stacks built up just yet, but he will be okay.
Mid lane Thompson. You see a dive here from Weehaw. Weehaw tried to close in for the kill, but he didn't have the damage to bring Thompson down. Thompson was able to just drop the combos. Weehaw, he got in close range for that attempt.
You got to be careful as well. Ana, he's jungling in the area, so he can just easily tether, pop. I don't know if you guys did the overcharge there, I didn't catch the end of it, but he can easily tether in it. You can get a little bit of extra HP regen that comes into play.
Looking for Jerax.
Jerax again.
Committing with the magnetized, TPs will now start to come into play. Thompson's here, Jerax still alive. They're trying their best to hunt him down through the trees. He'll be able to toss back the Helmet Smasher. Rock is dropped to keep the magnetized going. They'll get the kill on Jerax. See if they can find anything in return. OG Thompson, he's on top of Kuroki. GH, we are joining the gang. They're surrounding Thompson with a divine favor. Bringing We Are in. Liquid, they're going to be able to get both of them. Kuroki making these moves across the map, bringing in the team when required. Kuro, he's 3, 1, and 4. Every single one of these 7 kills has been down to Kuro and his map movements.
And his aggressive plays. They're not expecting these recalls. They're not expecting these divine favors at all. Every single time he's been able to set it up. And he's almost got a mech finished up on this Chen so early on. It's going to be a lot of burst heal. And like the draft panel mentioned, you look at Liquid's draft and they're really trying to set the tempo. They're trying to be aggressive, get early towers down with this Chen, with this Bristleback, and try to get an early roast and get that big advantage to take advantage of carry IO. You have to try to take advantage of it somehow.
They're waiting there on the high ground and immediately burst through the Aphotic Shield. Notail, he's trying to run. The Smasher's after him. Notail's got the backup of Ana. Mind Control's going to head in. Liquid then diving on forward. GH will be kept safe by the Heavenly Grace. Kuro may have dove a little too far this time. Will be surrounded. The 4 of them take down Kuro, put an end to his reign across the map. As OG responding in their numbers now in that middle lane, they won't let Liquid get away with this any longer.
They still, OG has a very strong way to fight, even in the early game. Even if they do have a greedy IO pick, it's what it provides you, especially when you have a Gyro. Gyro is all about that early fights, same thing with Tiny. And even Timbersaw, but Seb right now, we know he doesn't really want to show up except for the tower defenses. And he's also going to be matching that Chen, who's going to be an early mech. It's actually going to be a mech Timbersaw since they have IO. So this amount of sustain that could come out from OG pretty soon is going to be pretty hard for Liquid to deal with this. Seb, he actually jumps forward for GH.
He goes deep. We are going to turn with a focus fire. Seb, of course, has got the max reactive armor. Thanks to that, Shackle won't latch. Seb, continue to back off. Chains out, back over the river. He's fine. Liquid will try and turn their attention towards Thompson, but with Notail by his side, they cannot dive up to the high ground. Seb holding them back.
5 Liquid heroes in the mid lane. Trying to brawl again at the same time as last game. It's 13 minutes in, and there's 9 heroes or 8 heroes positioned around this area. They want to go for Notail, but he's got ulti.
Miracle's going to continue to chase this under the Titcher, and they will get it. Seb is trying to turn. The missile is out on the Courage. Does Seb have the burst? Not quite. Magnetizes out, and Seb has to retreat. Shackle does latch. Liquid. They've got the lockdown. They've got the roll forward. The kickback. They'll crush him. It's Liquid. They're diving again.
One top.
They got a bit of a flavor of how OG was playing in his last 2 games, and they're saying we could do it too. Thompson post the cooldown. They won't go too crazy. They'll let him live. They don't want to dive up towards the tier 3. They know TPs are coming in.
They have to make sure they're hitting the tower because the side lanes are being split pushed. Ana as well as Jerax are actually pressuring these other 2 towers. And they're not even going to get this one here. It's down into deny range. OG might just be able to deny that mid tower if they choose to do so. Liquid with an overzealous dive there, not losing anybody, but the side lanes giving a lot to that Tiny as well as that IO. And we know the timing is all about just waiting for IO to get not only Aghanims, but get that level 15 talent. That's what OG wants.
He's diving in. Onto Kuro with the flak as well. Hand of God will not keep Chen alive today.
GH will not get TP'd out. Jerax actually TP's in and gets the toss off in the exact timing.
OG's actually not done, as they are still hunting for action. Miracle, the focus. Thompson's got a DD. A power shot does come out. Lands on Thompson.
Bit too aggressive there from Thompson. He'll throw down the call down just to clear the
the Shackle actually reaches across the trees, but Notail. He's there with a shield. Thompson goes for the TP out. The focus fire. They have the damage. It's not enough. Thompson safe. A spray on the way out. Thompson will escape. Liquid, it's 9-6 in their favor, but the net worth difference, it's pretty much even. As you say, sure, Liquid, they are bringing the aggression, finding the kills, but space is being given to those important members of OG.
Yeah, especially Ana. Halfway to that Aghanims already. Level 11 finished up. He's got the Spirit supplied slow, so he can fight as soon as he has that Aghanims, of course, with the talent, but the big one is that 15, that extra Spirit hero damage that does come out. But yeah, look at this immediately. Seb now positioned up top. He wants to push the top tower as soon as Liquid is positioned in mid. And Jarek's already looking to set up down towards the bottom lane. Liquid have to just get these towers. Have to get some type of map advantage here.
Once Ana has the Aghanims, things are going to start getting very tricky for Liquid when they turn up like this.
Yeah.
The spirits will be out.
Yeah, and they have Bristle. That's a good thing, right? Bristle can be good versus the IO if you can get on top of him. The goo, you don't have the highest armor traditionally on the IO, but he's versus an actual counter. Timbersaw, very good versus Bristleback at all stages. Just that farm game, OG.
Got mind control. Looking towards Seb up top, but it's hard really for these heroes without the shackle shot or GH getting a beautiful angle. It's very hard for them to kill Seb.
It's very hard for them to kill pretty much anybody if they don't have Weehaw. If they can catch some of the supports and the running around by themselves, they can maybe pick them up, but they really need Weehaw for the damage. The rest of them do not really provide that at this point in the game versus what they're against. Magnetize can be good, but there's a lot of ways that they can deal with it. Not only with the tankiness of how they are, but also there's an advantage when you just remove it a lot of the times.
And Seb, he can just get away with this, pushing this wave into the tier 2 every single time, knowing that sure, if Liquid do come for him, it's going to be so many of their resources that it's probably going to be worth it for OG to have Seb positioned that aggressively and for him to draw that much attention towards him. Thompson's getting space, Ana's getting space.
Look at that build by Thompson. Diffusal gyrocopter.
Wait, what?
Diffuse? Gyrocopter.
Fresh diffusal gyrocopter. Fancy that, Thompson.
So
doing something I don't think I've ever seen this.
I mean, it's interesting because it's going to provide a lot of mana burn, which is going to be annoying for It gives you a lot of agility, and it gives you ways to run around and chase heroes down, I guess.
It's different. They've got the kill squad getting mobile again.
They can transition this into a Roche. DD Rune on the Bristleback, they've got Pipe. Yeah, they can easily do this one with the Medallion as well. However, OG, they know what's going on. They can look to contest this as well. As do they have the Aghanims finished up? It's almost there for Ana. And they're pinging it. They seem now they're aware of it, but it looks like it's almost too low for them to contest with all this minus armor. Liquid will get away with this one.
And let's see what they can do with it. Aegis, Pipe, they have those early tools to start making moves. Start looking towards some of these tier 2 towers.
Ags is complete now on the IO. So Ags IO finished, and we're about to hit 20 minutes. So I'm assuming that OG's gonna buy the tome, give it to that IO so he gets the extra spirit damage. Liquid, they gotta group up and try to get something big here. They gotta catch out these backlines heroes. They really have to get on top of the IO with a nice shackle shot in for Wiga has to focus fire him. They have to control and stun the IO.
Hunting for Ana. Won't quite find, but definitely, yeah, thinking about it, this diffusal blade, I see what you mean. It does make sense, right? There is, you look at what Miracle and Mind Control in particular.
They're completely dependent on their mana.
And they're dependent on the fights being drawn out, right? Yeah. They revel in situations where the fight continues. And sure, they can't kill them quickly necessarily, OG, but Thompson, he can, but he's going to take their mana away, and they're going to be essentially sort of these useless, tanky targets on the front that OG can then ignore and look for the more volatile kills.
And he's acting as this super frontliner. And Bristleback is a hero that if you don't have mana, you don't have damage. So if he's just going to be burning the Bristle, I can see it. I can see it. And he's super farmed, and look how tanky he is. 2,000 HP on the gyro. There's going to be an MKB finish now for Weehaw, so his damage is going to be very high as Seb's getting slowed down. He's got greaves available, but he's getting burst.
I mean, they're bringing him low. He's got the shield. Now they'll be able to turn. Cooldown's dropped down by Thompson. And here we have it. Miracle. His mana's gone. He's able to pop the stick, get it a fair bit of it back, and he's able to head back in, pushing OG back behind the racks. They're getting a good amount of damage onto this tier 3 tower, Liquid. They push on.
On IO. That spirit hero damage is there now. Ana gonna join the fray finally.
There we have it. Miracle's mana. It's pretty much entirely gone by Thompson's focus. He'll look for what GH is. He's trying to roll, but he can't get out. There's no mana. GH, he's dead. And now OG, they have that numbers advantage for this defense. They'll try and change the ball. Thompson. The Rocket Barrage brings Miracle down, then the Shackle turnaround, they're looking for Jarek. Jarek's backing away, Thompson focusing Miracle. Miracle's still out of mana because of his diffuse. Jarek, he's in with the combo, the GA is out, Weehaw will fall though, the magic damage is there for Thompson. Miracle's trying to run, another stick charge pop, but Jarek can shut him off. In fact, Jarek, he's ready to try and look for more potentially. There's only the once.
They go for the back line.
Thompson, he's on top of Kuro. Another cooldown's there. The toss back into the combo. Jarek has the control.
God.
They're all getting picked apart as mind control falls. Miracle is surrounded.
And they're all dead.
Able to get this as well. OG, they will hold.
And they're even taunting. They toss him to the dragon. This is absolutely working. Burn all their mana.
That I don't think anyone would have expected to see Gyro, the deciding game. The Diffusal Blade Gyro, it is perfect.
Look at his
for
damage.
this point of the match.
He just did an insane amount of damage, front lines the entire time, and then Ana just has free reign to get all that Spirit Hero damage, and it's back completely the other way, and it feels like the control is just gone.
And what do you do? When your mana's gone, what do you do?
Oh my god. OG starting to take over the game completely here.
Showing new ways to play the game at this incredibly late moment in the tournament.
And now Thompson has an Aghanim's as well, so not only is his regular hits going to be proccing that... yeah, he's going to be burning a lot of mana.
And then just moving into the base now, OG. They're pushing in. Flag starts to force Liquid back. They'll focus Miracle. Miracle, he'll get himself out and away. The missile is out. They're trying to put the heals to save him, but Miracle's dead.
Too much damage.
Jax is in with the combo. They'll bring down GH. GH has buyback. He'll buy back immediately. Weehar's going to be back up in 5. Fortification is popped, but OG, they're not going away.
They're too healthy. They still have greaves available for Seb as well this whole time. They're pretty... No time. Was kind of low, but off.
Again, and in a match where it looked like Liquid had the pace to maybe bring something different, but we're back to the same place.
Stones for GH, he can't contribute anything. There's no magnetize either. They're just taking this Rax.
It's gone. They cannot get close to hold this. Back off.
They're happy with that. Why not? They can chase this out. OG can definitely just turn and look for the fight. They have no cooldowns at the... And they're just so farmed right now at this point in the game that Liquid, they're walking out together, but like I was mentioning before, there's one stone on GH, and that is it. So his team fight potential, and he's pretty much the only team fighter on the side of Liquid right now, is just not there.
And OG's ready to go back. And again, Jarek's in with the wrap around the combo down onto mind control. The cooldown's there. Liquid Mana pretty much got. He's able to pop the stick, get the GA off at least. Can they fight for the duration of it though? They're getting towards Seb. Heals the pop, sends back pretty much up to 4. Jarek's in with another combo onto Weehaw. Weehaw stunned up. Weehaw dead. Miracle's the new focus. The missile follow through. OG pushing Liquid back to the base. Mind control out of Adam Thompson with his diffuser blade, picking them apart. Roll 4 for GH, but Seb cuts him down. Double kill. They're pushing on OG. Liquid getting forced back to the base as Liquid have nothing. They have nothing to offer, folks.
They're just giving, look at this, they're diving Fountain and TI Finals. They want Kuroki in the Fountain as well. They're gonna get him, they're chasing Miracle as well. Oh my god.
I can't believe this. I can't believe what we're seeing in this game 4. OG, you thought you saw it all in game 2, you thought you saw it all in game 3, then it is gone. OG are your 2-time TI champions. They've done it, folks.
And in what a fashion. These last 3 games didn't even seem close. Liquid, they had something going for themselves, but then they hit the brick wall. OG is the best team in the world. They are on a completely different level.
No question. They are so far ahead of anybody else that plays this game for a living. Game 2, 3, and 4 were absolutely ridiculous. The showing was magical from OG.
They just seem to know exactly what to do with whatever draft they're giving. It doesn't matter. They have so many different drafts, so many different play styles. They can execute all of them. Liquid seemed like they stood no chance after that first game.
And they've earned their money. $15 million, just over it, in fact, going the way of OG for this victory, on top of the $11 million they won last year.
Unbelievable performance by them, and in such a style. Busting out the carry IO in the final game, having a Timbersaw that they haven't played too much at all either. These guys can play anything.
They absolutely can. Innovators, magicians, bringing something new to the game, and when it counts the most in the grand finals. Game 1 was shaky, we had a bit of fun. Game 2, 3, and 4, they played their hearts out for every single minute of the matches. OG, the best team of all time, and with this, their second TI win. And not just the second TI win, but the second back-to-back. They do it 2 years in a row. There is no question that we are witnessing the best team of all time.
I'm at a loss of words from the way that they played this. It was just an absolute beatdown. They're just way too good at Dota.
And this sort of accomplishment, the first team to do it, 2 times back-to-back, the thing that so many TI winners in the past have dreamt of. Winning 1 TI, of course, is fabulous, but to do 2, that was always the goal for all of our previous champions. And here, in 2019, the International 2019, OG are the ones to do it first. The 2-time TI champions, OG, ladies and gentlemen. And here we have it. The team, I believe, preparing to lift up what is rightfully theirs for the second time in a row. There he is, Seb himself, leading the crew up to the podium. You cannot help but be awestruck by what this team has shown us in this entire run in these 2 years, and now in the grand finals. Ladies and gentlemen, it's OG!
恭喜OG再次获得 TI 的冠军，夺得2019年国际邀请赛的冠军。来，让我们问一下 Dota 好吧？哇，他们非常的开心，和家人在庆祝自己这一刻的兴奋。OK， Notel。OK， so 那我相信在这一刻，他们作为卫冕冠军，并且再次夺得 TI 冠军，一定有很多话想说。那我们先来问一下，队长 Notal 现在有什么话想对他们的粉丝和对 Dota 2的粉丝们讲的吧？来，有请我们的翻译 Josh。人群当中。Okay. Here, I got him. Notel. Sorry, but Notel, yeah. So, we're gonna ask you 2 questions. So the first one, please.
First of all, you're the first player. You guys are the first players to ever win 2-time TI champions as the captain of this team. How does it feel right now?
It's very hard to believe, man. It's extremely hard to believe, but it's too good to be true, and it feels just the same. It feels so good, man.
好的，那么第二个问题想问一下 Notel 此时此刻有什么想对自己的家人和队友们说的呢？
就刚刚我还是翻译一下吧。Notel 刚刚说就是真的难以置信，然后这一次第二次跟第一次还是一样的感觉，真的是太棒了。然后
有什么想对粉丝和家人、队友们说的
And then second, what do you have to say to your fans, friends, family at home?
Thank you everyone for making this possible. This is a dream, and I'm an animal apparently.
好了，我们就不要打扰他们了。那么我们最后把掌声和欢呼声送给 OG， 恭喜他们再次获得了国际邀请赛的冠军，恭喜你们 ！Okay, thank you everyone. Thank you for the amazing TI.
You love to see it, surrounded by friends and family and their teammates and their team organization. OG back-to-back international champions, not just two-time champions of the international, no, back-to-back. Let that sink in for a little bit. That is phenomenal. That is absolutely amazing, Trent.
They are infectious. I can't wipe the stupid grin off my face. I couldn't do it when they first won TI because I know just like the love, the trust that these guys have between each other, between their families, everyone there supporting them, and to think that they were just able to do it again. And the way that they stayed in that booth, you know, they're not busting open the door, they're not running to see everyone else because it's what's in there, you know, that counts. They got them there again.
It's unbelievable what this team managed to do in the end. 2 times winning TI, and Dota for them, Dota for pretty much all of us is life. Dota is love, and we should just keep playing the game. I can't believe that what we just witnessed.
I mean, just look at the way that they won, and they come out. And poor Dove, she's like trying to get the interview going, and the team cares nothing about that. They just care about sharing this happiness with each other, sharing this happiness with their family that has supported them through this very tough road that they originally had to go through to win the TI. I'm sure it feels a little bit easier the second time around, but God, this is just what an insane way to be able to just go through just rutted people nonstop.
I mean, it must just
good
be
dotes.
like just a wave, right? Of like each thing hitting you. It's like, oh my God, we did it. We won TI again. And then it's like, oh my God, we just won all this money again. Oh my God, I'm going to be carry IO on the Aegis. Like, so many things are flying through there right now.
It feels like waking up from this moment over and over again. You can't believe that you actually did it, and there you are once again.
Seb, again.
There's multiple generations support there, as Jarex is there with his dad, but he also brought his mom, his sister, and his grandma. 3 generations of Jarex is on the stage, and it's amazing that they get to witness it from very far. Something not known to a lot of people is that when the possible final game happens, for both sides, all the friends and family is like they've been giving a spot like on the floor, on the stage floor, so that they can witness it super close by, but also so that they can either be there to share the happy moment or be there to share the sad moment. And of course, in OG's case, they were cheering and rowdy the last game as OG was once again very dominant in their IO performance.
There's
what an achievement.
So many great storylines that get wrapped up in this. No Tail pushing Seb forward. He tells him to claim the Aegis. Like, this is every player's dream. Do you remember when Kuro won the Aegis? He wouldn't let go of that thing. He clutched to it. He desperately held on to that Aegis no matter what. And the fact that No Tail pushes Seb forward, just like he said in his interview, he said, I'm dedicating this tournament to Seb. That friendship meant everything in the world to him, and that's why he gives Seb the opportunity to be the first one to hoist the Aegis for the team.
Yeah. 5 days ago, they put that Aegis on the throne, and now they're taking it back again, and they deserve it. They are best team in the world, and probably the best. I'm not probably. They are the best team that we ever witnessed in Dota, for sure.
It's such a fun playstyle to be able to go. What a good team for Dota too, and how fitting that IO carry is the one that is going to be on all the Aegises. That's going to be there because it all starts with the story of being able to be able to trust your teammates, right? They want to be able to do something and being able to just fearlessly say, go for it.
It embodies their style. From the tethering to one another to the, yeah, we never practiced this. Let's put it in the group stage and destroy it.
And it's working out, you know. We've all seen TrueSight. You know, we all know in what fashion they won the first time round. It's like, what do you like to play? You know, that was the style. Not what is good here or something, or not what is the strategy. No, what would you like to play in the final game of the grand finals of the international? And that is saying a lot.
I've heard that Johann's a big fan of Wings and still looks back and watches those games. And I think it's kind of evident in their play style. Because I get those, no other team has made me have those emotions and thoughts watching a game where I'm just like so befuddled, but so insanely impressed. And I'm just like, what are these guys doing? How is it working? And they're catching everyone off guard. Now they just have the full-on respect of 2 years.
Yeah, and we saw Anna with that Aegis. This is his third international. It's all been OG all the way for him. Third international, second Aegis. So impressive. And of course, Topson 2 international too. I don't think that there is ever going to be anyone to repeat that. 2 internationals, back-to-back 2 champions.
I thought
they
it was
can do
crazy
it next
with
year,
someone.
huh?
Yeah, okay. I mean, that's the question. To me, I look at these guys and I say, they want the 3-peat. I see it already. I mean, there's no way they're slowing down now.
I have a quote from Jarek that I think is pretty cool. He said, we aren't doing anything special. Nobody can be perfect. All we're doing is taking it tournament by tournament, game by game. If you look too far ahead, you lose yourself.
He's wrong. They are perfect.
This is perfect. This is special. This is something else, man.
I mean, I asked before the series, before the grand finals, you know, all internationals have something that you remember it by. Something's good, something's bad. But in this case, back-to-back, double-time international champions, that's a crazy story.